$5 each. Don't mind me.
Absolutely. All right.
I'm ready whenever everybody else is.
Yeah.
You're all good? All right. We're good with your questions. Go right ahead.
How beneficial can this discussion be?
We think this type of discussion is vital. We recognize that really it's not a story of either or and how our communities become safer. If there was anything that kind of went wrong in rhetoric since 2020, people thought the answer is it all prevention, is it all enforcement? The real story is it takes all of this, and you heard that today. We heard people talk about how important the enforcement side is, but also how important it is to give our young people activities. And I just appreciate everyone who's part of this conversation. Mayor Jones and I have been talking about this, trying to implement as much as we can in Kansas City and St. Louis for several years now, but we appreciate our Moms Demand organizers here. We appreciate our police chief, making sure that she's out there listening. So, as was asked from the crowd today, we hope that we have more of these conversations, and we hope that this is part of how Kansas City starts to change the realities on our streets right now.
Mayor, do you hope to share ideas with Kansas City? And is this are we similar to you folks on the other side of the state? Or?
Well, gun violence touches all of us, and one life lost to gun violence or affected by gun violence is one too many. And like Mayor Lucas said, our hands are tied as mayors to enact common sense gun safety laws on the local level. We know what the people want. We know that they want universal background checks and red flags. We know that they even want to return to concealed carry and have permits to carry. However, our legislature has failed to act and has made our cities more dangerous and made our law enforcement more dangerous. It is dangerous for law enforcement as they approach people for a common traffic stop that may be armed, and their lives are at danger as well. So we need our legislature and the people around the state to hear us that everybody having access to guns does not make us safer.
And I think one thing I may just add is this. It's easy to get desensitized to these tragedies, right? We got nicknames. I've heard Killer City before. I've heard all these sorts of things. These are real people, and these are real lives. And we are committed to seeing it change. Mayor Jones and I are both from the cities that we're elected to lead. And violence has been a reality of our cities for too long. But every life is a substantial and serious loss that reverberates to a broader community. So part of why on my first day of a new term that I'm committing to this, why I'm so excited to have the mayor back, why I'm excited to have Angela here, is because we are committing anew to Kansas City addressing this generational challenge. We can't just celebrate World Cups and Super Bowls and all of that and ignore the tragedies that impact our community. And I think the only way we will ever be the greatest city we can be is if we have all that good stuff still happening, but also making sure that we address the very real public safety challenges we face each day. And in that, cooperation is the most important thing possible. We need the police. We need our community leaders. Frankly, we need young people. We need folks who found themselves in trouble over time to work with us to say how we can be safer and stronger in our communities. Any other questions for you? Yes.
How powerful is it in the emotions that you see behind these moms when they come and then have these discussions with you?
You know, I think it's a reality, and the chief's got a lot more experience than me on this. You need to have your heart broken sometimes. You know, if you start to think of homicides or shootings as numbers, you're missing it. You know, I read the news and watch the news. I respect what y'all do, and we kind of talk about the numbers impacted. But it's important to remember the people impacted, the person who carries that every day of their lives for the rest of their lives, the siblings who carry that every day of their lives for the rest of their lives. That's why this is important, and that's why we get emboldened to do this. And I had somebody ask me this, and I know Mayor Jones gets asked this all the time too. People say, well, y'all got a new plan. How's that different from the old plan? And when you going to stop having them? We'll never stop trying to solve this problem. So I know we've worked with the chief, we've worked with city council, to come up with however many approaches we can to fight gun violence, and we will continue to do that till the day y'all drag us out of these offices, and then probably still will be working to solve this problem, because you heard it from the mayor. You know, she's got a 15-year-old son, right? We need to make sure that the city's safe for him. I got a 2-year-old. I hope that the city's safe for him. And you keep hearing about these tragedies again and again, and all of them are preventable. That's the craziest thing about this epidemic. This isn't something that we don't understand, that came and knew all of that. These gun homicides, suicides, accidents are all preventable. And that's why we're here to try to change it. Other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.